Thank you, Todd. So it's about how we can come together. Okay? That's what it's about. An inspiration. Not the coming together part necessarily, but Todd's work. Anyway.
Beatles, come together, perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
Where's the walk-up music? Can you hook that up for us, please, Lauren? Thank you. Come together. Don't have a cassette deck back there? Okay, the next award that we will present will go to, it's called the Pandora's Collective BC Writer Mentor Award. This award goes to an individual who has taken the time to help foster other writers, give them feedback and support above and beyond what is expected. This year's winner is Elee K Gardiner. And we'll, that's it. Elee is the best. She doesn't know. She is. And it'll be presented by our friend Jen Curran. For those of you who aren't familiar with Jen, she has published 4 collections of poetry, most recently School in 2014. She has just finished a manuscript of short stories, which is going to be great. She teaches writing at Kwantlen Polytechnic, and she is the best. She's right over here. Please welcome Jen.
Thank you all for coming out, and thank you, Bonnie and Sita, for all the work you do. I'm really excited to be presenting this award to the wonderful, inimitable Elee K Gardiner. Elee is an important fixture of many Vancouver writing communities, known by many for her warmth, intelligence, and generosity. I met Elee about 5 years ago when I was just starting at the Writers Studio at SFU, and Elee was coming to speak with the new mentees about her experience there at the studio. And I remember being struck right away by how confident and articulate she was. There's a real brightness to Elee that you notice right away, and those of you who have met her know exactly what I'm talking about. After this first meeting, I kept bumping into Elee at different literary events, and I've seen firsthand over the years how engaged she is in the communities that she's a part of and in the people in those communities. And I've been lucky enough to share space with her on numerous occasions. And I can honestly say she's one of the most dynamic and dedicated writers I know. Elee's been writing for many years. Her bio was quite long. I had to pare it down a little. Hopefully I'm hitting the high notes, but she's been published in many important Canadian journals and anthologies, including Event, Prism, the anthology Force Field. She co-edited with John Asfor B68 Writing from Vancouver's Downtown East Side, which was shortlisted for the 2012 City of Vancouver Book Award. And very excitingly, I just recently found out that her first collection of poetry, Serpentine Loop, is forthcoming from Anvil Press in the spring. So many of us have been looking forward to that for a long time. Very exciting. And Elee's many literary involvements include being a founding member of Quila, Canadian Women in the Literary Arts, as well as sitting on the editorial board for the great magazine Poetry is Dead. But perhaps Elee's most well-known literary involvement is her work with the important Thursdays Writing Collective, an ongoing writing class. Yeah. Many of you know about it or have attended it. It's an ongoing writing class / community of writers that meets weekly at the Carnegie Center and publishes annual chapbooks of their work. Elee is one of the founders of the Thursdays Writing Collective, which began in 2008, and is currently its director. In her role as facilitator and also later director of the collective, Elee has touched many people, including Mohammed Halali, who recalls, "Thursday Collective was my first smile in the West. In one of the classes, I saw the heart of genuine kindness. Elee stood and hugged one of the senior writers for a reason she only knew. Then the next prompt was about spaces. I wrote about the space in her heart that was big enough for all those people." Karenzi Wall, another participant, notes that Elee has made a tremendous difference in the lives of so many people who call the downtown east side home. She's helped empowerment and growth. This is echoed by James Witwicky, who had this to say about his work with Elee. She always has a kind word of encouragement for any writer in the collective, without ever seeming repetitive or insincere. If you're anything like me, who has struggled with grief, mental illness, substance abuse, and poverty, Elee's kind of encouragement can mean the difference between being heard and being silent. I have not been silent. I've been heard. Thank you, Elee. Yeah, it was quite moving to read the different testimonials from the many people that have worked with Elee over the years, and undoubtedly I could have quoted dozens more people, but I will let James's sincere thank you stand in for the many thank yous that are always streaming Elee's way from the people in the many literary communities she's a part of that she affects. So without further ado, I'd like to call to the stage Elee K Gardiner.
I just want to say, first of all, here we are in Coast Salish territory, the unceded Coast Salish territory, and it's such an amazing thing to be here. I admire the work of Pandora's Collective and really hold it as a model for how much outreach they do, relentless community engagement, and to see that in pair with Word Vancouver, which is a huge, meaningful event for Thursday's Writing Collective. That's where we met Mohammed. We meet so many of our writers at Word, so thank you so much for yoking and continuing this bubbling up of community engagement. Jen Curran, that was incredible. All I can think is how many poems you could have been writing when you were assembling that beautiful introduction. So thank you for taking the time to think about that and to find the people and to coordinate all that. It's really tremendously moving. Personally, I really learned through modeling, and I've been lucky to have incredible mentors in my own life, including John S. Ford, who I met when he was at the Kagawa House, Betsy Warland, my high school teacher, Lou Bernieri, who taught me how to be a teacher as well, and Rachel Rose and Wade Compton, and Jen Curran, who I've had incredible conversations with. So I'm pretty good at turning people into mentors, whether they want to be my mentor or not. I just want to mention that as I was thinking about what it means to be a mentor, the weird way that life has of being synchronous. My son Ivar and I have been reading the Odyssey lately, and many of you remember the Odyssey is the story of Odysseus going out for 20 years from his house, and while he's gone, the horrible partygoers come in and invade his kingdom and his farm, and they slaughter his cattle, and they hassle his wife, and they tease his son Telemachus. And Telemachus receives one visitor who is his father's old friend, Mentor. And Mentor comes in and has the gray eyes of the goddess Athena. And Mentor gives Telemachus advice as to how to get rid of the scourge of suitors. And what we see here is that this mentor figure is inhabited by the goddess of wisdom, Athena. So I just want to point out that all of us can be inhabited by that spirit, and I think it's something much larger than one person. So to all the Thursdays Writing Collective members who are here, can you stand up, please? Thank you so much for coming. I'm being recognized for eating the cupcake the best. Thank you so much.